I watch a new film every other day, follow along for recommendations and reviews. Today, I just finished watching the movie titled Anjola that is showing on Bolaji Ogunmola TV. And the first thing that I want to just say is that Bolaji Ogunmola TV, her production team, like Bolaji's pictures always look so good. Like the color quality, the production quality, it always gives, I won't lie. This film is one of those films that it is really heavy on like the dialogue and the action because it is a two-person drama for the most part of it. It's very in that vein of like Mirrors or Sticks X Stones, like where it's just two people majorly and then it's about their interpersonal dynamic, like between two of them. And that's what the film is about. This film kind of has all the hits of, there's emotional drama, there's emotional things at stake, there's desire that somebody has but is not yet gotten. Like the film touches on a lot of things. What is the film about? It's about a couple that they really want to have children, but they've been unsuccessful, so they've been dealing with infertility. But now they are having like an IVF journey, and the film kind of goes from there. I don't want to give you any spoilers because I want you to experience this film exactly how I experienced it. And I say that because one thing we've talked about this before on this Video Game Film Club is that I have a personal bias that I've called out. We've talked about it many times. I have a bias towards women in films. That is, once a film starts, before I even push play on a film, I'm already on the side of the woman. I'm already supporting the woman. Like most probably, even if the film don't get woman, I'm on the side of the woman. Whatever she said, that's what it is. As she talk, that's what it is. I have a personal bias. We've talked about this before. But then in this film, the way Angela, the woman, going to do things where you go to say, wait, for Larry in the man to go come do things where you go say, wait, for like you too. Wait, Angela, you too. Wait. Both of them, wait. I just don't want to tell you anything because it's one of those films where you will kind of be like, who am I? Whose side am I? Wait, do you have a point? Wait, you have a point. Wait, you did what? Wait, you did not. It's that kind of film, and I think you should experience it in that way. I don't want to give you any spoilers even by mistake, so go and check this film out. It's showing on Bolaji Ogunmola TV. And now, for those of us who have watched, you know that there's a lot that we have to say. So you can go and watch, and then when you watch, you can then come back. For those of us who have watched, spoilers ahead, so we can gist about it well. In 3, 2, 1, spoilers ahead. Let us go. All right, now we're in the spoiler section. Please, if you're going to write a comment that has spoilers, just write spoiler alert before you write your comment so that we don't spoil it for people that have not yet watched it. All right, let's start gisting. When this film starts, right, and the first thing that we see is Angela and her POV of getting flogged, her desire for children. And then we now finally see Fola when he comes back to the house. And the first thing that he's done is that he's now brought baby gifts for their unborn child. I'm like, this man is putting pressure on this woman. Which kind of thing be this? Next thing, he's now talking about when we have our child, it will be two against one. I'm like, He's talking about baby proofing the house. I'm like, whoa, leave this woman, give this woman some room. Give her some space. Like, she's dealing with this already. Like, why are you happy on her? And so when Angela now calls it out and she says, you just came back, like you're already talking about children, like, can we have a break? The man apologizes, and I'm like, okay, good, at least he can take accountability. That is nice. But then suddenly he now says, but Gloria is having my baby. And I said, oh, having your baby? Is he having baby out of wedlock? What is going on here? So already I'm like, Angela, you're understanding why for waiting they happen. But then the film keeps going, and you now realize that no, it is their child. They are both having the baby together. This is an IVF journey. And I'm like, oh, okay. At this point, right, because we've kind of seen how Angela has been reacting to this whole thing, I'm like, Angela, am I on your side? Am I not on your side? Like, make I know. And then Fola starts talking. And when he's now talking, we are now realizing really that this is surrogacy that they're talking about, and they're not having an extramarital baby. Because the way Angela is making it seem, you go to say, in don't go give woman belly outside. So I'm like, okay, so Angela, I guess I'm not on your side with the craze. What did they happen here, Angela? But then she now starts explaining how like she's been feeling pressured. She starts talking about how he was saying when he came in one time after a visit to guys, some people's children, that he now said this house feels empty. He was telling her to hold kids. So, these things are obviously making her feel away. She's feeling pressure that like she does not want to lose the man that she's in love with, but he's obviously so clearly wanting this thing called kids. And then he now starts saying that, oh, he didn't know that he also thought that it was because she also desired this thing as well. So he was thinking, you also want this thing, so let me also give you this child to hold and all of that. So it's just a lack of communication. And one thing I would say that I liked about them as a couple was that they were kind of quick to say sorry to each other, like when they had like this moment of, miscommunication. But then after that one, suddenly she now accuses him of knacking their surrogate. And I'm like, oh, I'm on your side again, Angela. For like, wetin you go do? Then Fola come talk, come say, actually, I no knack her. Now just, we almost kissed. And I told you, Angela. So I'm like, wait. It's what I was telling you guys that I was like, wait, this couple on our two, they stress me. On our two, they stress me. Whose side am I on? Who am I carrying the shovel against? Let me know now whose body we are burying. Because both of honor, I don't know whose side I'm supporting, but you can tell that this is the kind of stories that I love. When both of them, there's no right person. You're not just watching two characters, just be two characters. I was really enjoying that, but I was like, what did they happen for here? Angela, you the Chris Fola? Because he now says you deserve the sorrow in your life. So I said, Fola, you too, you dey talk, don't talk with you know supposed to talk in anger. Like sometimes in anger, people just say all sorts of things, and like just be careful what you're saying in moments of anger. Like that's another thing that this film I like that it touched on. When they both now finally get to a point of talking and sitting down to talk well, we now realize that really the cocoa here is just that she's feeling a way about the fact that she's not carrying her own child, and she has feelings about that. That yes, this is my baby, it's surrogacy, but am I really going to be the child of this mother? And will I feel like the mother if I'm not the one that has gone through this pregnancy journey? And then he reassures her and gives her the whole speech of a motherhood is not just about the pregnancy carrying, it's also about actually mothering the child. And they have that beautiful conversation that is very powerful and very real. And in my mind, that's kind of like where the film comes to a natural conclusion of that first part, and then it now kind of goes into the second part where she now reveals her marks, and then leads us into like the second part of the film, which is their interpersonal like marriage problems outside of just the baby. That thing with the whip cracks, first of all, when they were flogging her and they were having those whip cracks, I really felt for her. Even when they were pressing the wounds on her back, I was like, hi, the things that people will do. But that's the thing. And like, Fola kept on throwing this word stupidity. Even when he called his mother, he was calling the woman stupid, which I was like, that was so disrespectful. The way he talked to her mother, I said, nah, wah. But he likes that word stupid, and sometimes you could even see that in the dynamic there was that, like, it almost felt like he went to law school. It seems like maybe she kind of came from a broker lifestyle, so like they have that power imbalance of money sometimes, and it feels like maybe she feels inferior sometimes in a way, or maybe he makes her feel that way. But that part where he was calling her so stupid and all of these things, I was like, for like you too, you have to understand sometimes in situations like this, when your desire is so strong for something, you will do anything. Like you will do anything, because the thing too is like, if you don't do it, it's now almost feel like you're standing in the way of your own good. Because if the mother suggested, I have this person, this celestial kidney that I can go and meet, and she now said no or something, it look like she's standing in the way of her own progress. So she will go and get flogged because she thought that is to get her results. So it's not the most stupid thing, but when you do use your logical brain, of course it can sound stupid, but Fola had to learn that emotional intelligence too with her. Like he was throwing that word stupid out too much. When she starts talking to though about how she's only the one suffering, I was like, oh, that's never a good idea. It's never a good idea to start keeping score in a marriage. Because when she finishes her whole spiel about her own suffering and she's the heart that's getting poked and prodded, he now also lashes her. He's also shouting about who booked the appointment, who paid for all these things. Like in a marriage, it's tit for tat. That is just the nature of it. You're both looking out for each other. So it is never a good idea to start keeping score. And I think too is that like really Fola in many ways felt like her father. Like he was really fathering her in some ways, like encouraging her, even when he gets her ice cream, telling her you're good enough. And and to him too, when he now gets the call about Gloria and he's kind of down, you kind of see her do the same thing for her. Because in a marriage and relationship, you're also both your people. Like, this is your baby boy, this is your baby girl inside this relationship. So you both kind of become like, not obviously their parents, but like you become parental and protective of them in that like way that I just thought was lovely. And it was good to see that like, even if yes, they have the Agbas boost, I like that there seems to be like a real love between two of them. At the end, when Angela is kind of saying that she wants to just leave the baby before it's even born, I'm like, Angela, you take what? Angela, I'm trying to be on your side so bad. What did they do you? But then when the call now comes, they go and see Gloria in the hospital and the baby is here and she now stays. I'm like, hey, yeah. And then the water finally starts flowing back in the house. There's flow again. There's a rush again. There's joy again. Basically, that's what I took that to symbolize. And I was just like, oh. At the end, the film ended well. It was nice. It was lovely. Like, just a wonderful time. I enjoyed it. Like, I really liked like the story. I'm very curious to know what you think about it if you've watched it. So please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, if you've watched this whole video and you have no idea who I am, my name is VDK. I'm the curator of the VDK Film Club, where every other day we watch something new and we just about it. Follow along. All right. Until the next film that I watch and the next video that I make, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.